Hey, welcome back, my awesome student. So, since we are in a PHP course, I think it's good for me to give you a little practice on some of the things that we can do with the command line, um, because we haven't not done that in this course a lot. Okay, so let's go, and right now you should be able to use your terminals, right? You learn a little bit about terminals, so even if you are a Windows user, you can use your Git Bash terminal. If you are Ubuntu or Linux, you can use your terminal, or you can use Git Bash, and if you're a Mac, of course, you can use your terminal or Git Bash. So we're good to go, right? I mean, we got everything we need. So now, if you open your editor, whatever it is, you can open Visual Studio Code here. I can make a folder here and call this test PHP. I want to show you something here real quick. Test PHP. And if I drop that in here, and I'm just using Visual Studio Code because it's free, just to show you some examples. I click here just to create a file, index.php, and it creates a file, right? I can open my terminal. If I'm using a Mac, I can do Control tilde. It's by the escape key, and it opens the terminal here. You can also open the terminal, I believe. Let me just see. Shift Command P to open the command palette, or you can right click and do right here, command palette, and open it up and look for terminal in here. And this one, there you go. Okay. I think there is another way of opening that through here somewhere, right here. Okay. So let's see if we can. New terminal. Yep, you can open it through there as well. But anyway, so this is the same terminal that we have outside. Okay, the same thing. I mean, the commands you type in here are gonna be shown here. I'm using by default the bash here, the program. Okay, that's my default. So you can go to settings and you can look it up on Google and how to set up this for bash, but it should be a wrapper for, if you're using Windows, make sure that you have bash in here, git bash, okay? Because this is just going to take over your command prompt, and you don't want your command prompt to be here, because whatever commands we type in here, if you are a Windows user, it's not going to work 100% because they're going to be different. It's going to be a wrapper for your command prompt. You want it to be a wrapper for git bash. Okay? If you did the step that I did when I was installing git bash, and there was a setting that says, hey, you want your editor to be git bash in Visual Studio. If you did that, then this should be your default. There is another way of changing this, I believe, that you can just go here and type in select default profile, and you can select it from here. Okay, right now this is my default. Okay, so anyway, so what I want to show you guys is that you don't need MAMP or XAMPP or any of those programs that actually run PHP in your computer. If you're using a Mac, you already have PHP and you can run some files, and you can even open a live server like we are going to be doing right now. So right here, if you have PHP installed, okay, in your computer, like the Ubuntu users or the the Mac OS systems, you can actually open your command line and type in php-s, uppercase S, and then go and do this localhost, and you type in whatever port you want, for example 9000. Now if I go to that port, let's see right here, you can see that we have a PHP server running there. Okay, for those of you using a environment, like in the Windows users, you're using an environment, you need to go to where your PHP environment is actually running. like this, okay? And this is very useful for us Mac OS users as well, okay? Sometimes we're gonna have to use a Windows computer to do certain things, okay? So it's actually good to know this. So let's say you want to do the same thing in Windows here. Let's go ahead and open up Git Bash. Now if I do this, phps localhost 9000 in here, okay, you can see now that I'm able to do the same thing, okay, even though it's not in a, what you call it, I'm not inside XAMPP or anything like that, okay? And you might be wondering, so why am I doing this? Well, Git Bash is allowing us to, remember, we set up our PHP executable, okay, with Git Bash already has all those files pathed, but make sure that you have at least XAMPP installed in your computer so Git Bash can find that executable. So let's go localhost 9000 in here, and there is no resource here, okay, meaning that we don't have anything. We don't have any files in there. So let's fix that. Let's create a folder right here. I'm gonna call this test PHP, okay, and I'm gonna open a new tab here. I'm gonna do cd and I'm gonna drag this file. You see that? I'm gonna change the directory, but I want the path of where this file is, so I'm just gonna drop it in there and enter. Now I'm inside this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create a file that is gonna have some stuff in there, some PHP, and say echo hello. Now let's just put this in strings like that, like this, and they close our PHP tags. This is gonna go in a file called index.php. Enter. So let's go to the browser. Oops, that's not the one that I want. There we go, and I'm gonna refresh it here. We might have to turn our server off, okay, to do this. So let's go here, do Control C a couple times. There we go. And then we turn on our server again and refresh, and there is nothing there. Localhost 9000. Let's make sure that we have something in there. So I'm gonna open this folder, make sure that our index.php is actually available to us, right? Let's just see what's in there. Okay, and it looks good to me. Okay, that looks good to me. Let's save it. Okay, and let's go back and refresh. And the port is actually working here. Let's just do Control C here, and I know what the problem is. We opened the server in our home directory. We got to open that server in the same directory that this is located. Okay, so that was our problem there. I thought I was already there, so I'm there now. So from here I can do php-s and then open whatever port I want, and in this case it's going to be 9000 again. And then from here, then we're going to be able to see what we want. Okay, so let's refresh, and now you can see that it says hello there. Okay, so one of the good things to download Git have XAMPP included in there. I have XAMPP somewhere here. Okay, remember that XAMPP comes with PHP executable when you download it. Okay, so let me see if I can show it to you, but anyway, it's here. You just look for it inside the XAMPP folder. So anyway, so that's what I wanted to show you for this lecture here, guys, that we are able to, with just PHP, open, you know, a built-in server. We don't need to be in a XAMPP or MAMP or any other program environment. Okay, on the next lecture, since this got a little longer than I expected, I'm gonna show you some other things with Composer. Okay, see you in the next one.